Hi, I'm Todd Underwood with Pinnacle Hospitality Systems, and we're here today to discuss one of the hottest topics in the restaurant industry today, the PosiTouch Integrated Kitchen Video System. So what you're looking at here is the Expo VDU. The Expo or Expediter VDU would basically be the window where the food is coming out of the kitchen and being trayed for the server to take to the table. From this basic control point, the Expediter is able to see the status of all the orders in the kitchen and in the window based on their table number, their terminal, their time, their ticket number, the items, and the status of the items on the check. There are many different configurations available on the Expediter window, from a 4-cell screen all the way up to a 16 or 18-cell screen with or without item summary and service time windows integrated into the display. And what we're looking at here is one unit of a kitchen video or production unit. Once again, as with the Expo video, there are many different ways to configure your kitchen video system. This production situation is probably the most common in the restaurant industry today. Production videos basically assign a section of the kitchen to the video. So your grill, your fry, your pantry station. So rather than having prep tickets printed with many different items on it, or individual tickets printed with just specific items on it, in a scenario with a production line item video, that area is only getting the items that they need to see at that time. So like the Expo video, full control is with the production person on the line, where they're seeing the individual item with the specific modifiers that go along with it. They're seeing the menu that it came from, the terminal that it came from, the check that it's on, the time that it has been in the kitchen being displayed, along with the ability to scroll through items, bump items, recall items as necessary, if we need to go back and take a look at what we just may have accidentally served. We are also able to look at a service times and an all day, which will tell you exactly how many of each item you are currently in need of or currently cooking. The first thing we're going to focus on is the kitchen production videos, how the orders actually come into the kitchen and how the cooks are physically going to see the orders. For this demonstration, we only have one kitchen display, but in a functional kitchen, you may have as many as 6 individual stations or more, seeing the individual items come through just to their specific areas. But for this demonstration, we're just going to use the one screen. So when the order is rung up at the terminal, the server is going to send the item into the kitchen, and based on how the items are rung up and the timing associated with them, the kitchen will see them in a different way. Initially, what we have here is an appetizer order of chicken wings and an order of fried green tomatoes. Based on the prep times, the individual preparation and cook times of these items, the one that takes the longest to prepare is going to show up at the production screen first. It's going to show up in the color green, which again can be customized based on what you like to see at your restaurant or any established variations that you may already be familiar with. But the green color here means that this item is being prepped or prepared and is not yet cooking. Once the cook in the kitchen has the item ready and maybe puts these in the fryer or on the grill, he will set that item specifically as being cooked by touching bump on the bump bar. This will change the status of this item to the color blue and put the letter C at the end, showing that it is now being cooked. Now, as the time expires on that prep time and it gets closer to the prep time of the next item or the rest of the items on the ticket, they will begin to appear in time in the queue on the video screen as well. This is so that you can stage your items properly by time, and both of these items are going to come out of the kitchen at the same time. So once again, this item comes in, it's in green, I need to prep it. So I'm going to, once it's prepped and in the fryer, I'm going to scroll down using the down arrow on my bump bar to highlight the order in white, and I'm going to hit bump, and that is going to set this item to being cooked as well. When this happens, the information on the expediter VDU will change as well to let the expediter know what's happening with these items on this order. Now, as these orders are coming in and are being prepared by the cook in the kitchen, you'll see that the status is going to change on the individual items. We went from green being prepped to blue being during normal time being cooked with a C next to it. Now as it approaches the time that the item should be done based on the individual prep time, you will see that the items will turn yellow. There is a period that is configurable by item or by station that allows you to say, okay, I should be done in plating within this specific time. Once that time has been exceeded, and once again, there are a set of parameters that you may configure within the system on how you would like it to react, the item will change to red from yellow, letting you know that this ticket is now overdue. This item, based on your parameters, should have been cooked, plated, and served by now. Okay. So you'll see that the items have now exceeded their prep time and have changed from yellow to red, meaning that these items are overdue. Now we're plating the items and we're putting them in the window. As we put them in the window, we can choose to highlight specific items. Let's say the green tomatoes are the first ones to go out. I scroll down, highlight that item, which is now in white, and hit bump, bumping it from the screen, putting it in the window, and letting the expediter know that it is now ready to serve. And now the wings are coming out. I bump them and it clears the slate. As we've seen in the production side of the kitchen, now we're going to see the actions that occur at the expediter station that tie up and equate with what's going on in the kitchen. As the orders are rung in and sent to the kitchen, basically at the expediter station, you're going to see the entire order come in out here, in this case in the first window. The header bar tells you the terminal, the check number, and the amount of time that ticket has been active since it's been sent from the terminal. Our background here is set to blue, which means it's within a prescribed amount of prep time in the expediter window. This also may be configured differently than your production station, where your production items are all about how fast or how slow we are taking to cook the specific item. This is about service. As you'll see, as these items are prepped in the kitchen, cooked, and then finally put into the window to be run to the table, the statuses will change on the expediter ticket. Okay, as the orders are displayed on the expediter screen, you'll see next to the items, they may come in with that specific P next to it. The P represents the prep status that we saw earlier on the production video where the bar was green. As the cook goes through and puts these items on the grill, puts them in the fryer or whatever needs to be done, you will see that the status changes from a P to a C on the expediter bump. This lets you know that, okay, the cook is on this, well, he's started to cook these items. These items over here on the initial check have not begun to cook at this time. So this gives the expediter control to say, hey, I have an issue with 105, why haven't you started cooking those yet? Could be an accident, could not be an accident, whatever it may be, but now the expediter has full control over what he sees happening within those orders. Now, as those orders are changed from prep to cook status, you will see that those C's appear and the timer continues on that. The timing can be set at the location of the production a little bit different based on the production station, where your timing begins on cooking status, it begins on the time the ticket is sent, it ends on the time that it's bumped and restarts. Many different configurations within the video displays. Okay, as the orders are displayed on the expediter screen, you'll see next to the items, they may come in with that specific P next to it. The P represents the prep status that we saw earlier on the production video where the bar was green. As the cook goes through and puts these items on the grill, puts them in the fryer or whatever needs to be done, you will see that the status changes from a P to a C on the expediter bump. This lets you know that, okay, the cook is on this, well, he's started to cook these items. These items over here on the initial check have not begun to cook at this time. So this gives the expediter control to say, hey, I have an issue with 105, why haven't you started cooking those yet? Could be an accident, could not be an accident, whatever it may be, but now the expediter has full control over what he sees happening within those orders. Now, as those orders are changed from prep to cook status, you will see that those C's appear and the timer continues on that. The timing can be set at the location of the production a little bit different based on the production station, where your timing begins on cooking status, it begins on the time the ticket is sent, it ends on the time that it's bumped and restarts. Many different configurations within the video displays.
It worked?
Yep. Okay, now we're going to go back.
And I am rolling.
Okay, as these items are being cooked, you see the time continue to count at the expediter station. On the production side, the item already may be in that yellow status saying, hey, this item should be done, you should be plating it, you should be putting it in the window. It may even be getting to the point where it's red and overdue, but you don't necessarily know that at the expediter station. Okay? Once the item enters that scenario where it goes from the normal status of blue into the yellow status of now due, that's based on the timing and the individual location. As the item is bumped from the production screen, you'll see that now it has changed from a C, cooked status, to an asterisk, meaning letting the expediter know that this item has been plated and is sitting in the window waiting for them to remove it. You'll also notice that this item is still cooking and the expediter is not allowed and completely unable to bump this ticket off the screen until all items are prepared and served. This prevents any loss of orders, as if you were using paper tickets that may have fallen off the rail behind a cooler or gotten thrown out. So as these items are bumped off, you see the status change from cooked to in the window. We are now able to bump that item off the window. Once the item is bumped off the window, you may have an expo printer that prints a runner ticket for the expediter runner to get those items to the specific table at the specific seat. You'll also see that if there are any questions regarding this order, we can hit the recall button and it'll bring this order back in a different color. You'll notice that here the color is pink, letting everybody know up front that this item has been or should have been sold. We are just here to review it. Now we see the next order does the same thing. It goes from a cooked status. As we bump the items off, it'll change the status to the star, letting us know that we're now able to bump that item off the order and it'll print the expediter ticket. There are many different ways to configure the kitchen videos. There are many different summary boxes that can be displayed on the screen and a whole lot of information that can be gleaned from this. We discussed before about the expediter monitor being able to span across multiple monitors and increase the amount of visible checks at the expediter station. This configuration over here displays one of the possible scenarios that we have in the expediter setup, where here in this 10 order VDU setup, we have an item summary box, which we previously had in the other demonstrations. This is showing you basically an all day that is visible at all the time during the order process. Here it shows we have 2 onion rings, a wings, a legacy fries, and a house salad available. As you can see on the actual orders, that is correct. The service times, which previously was available by pushing a button on the bump bar, a summary button, which would both give you the item summary and the service times, is now available on the Expo VDU at all times. What we've also included on this configuration is the open orders box right here that displays the table number, the check number, and the amount of time that this ticket has been in the kitchen. So we have those that are available or not available if you choose to configure it so. The other thing that we have is what's called video on the fly. On the fly is a very good opportunity for quick service restaurants that are looking to do more what we call sandbagging, if you will. As the order is physically coming in, they can see the order on the VDU and begin to make that order prior to it being sent or paid. There is one fallback on that if they decide that they're going to change, say they order a burger with no mayo, and they forgot to tell you no mayo and you've already put mayo on it, now you have a burger with mayo. This looks a little different than a regular order, as you'll see when we go through. This is an in-transition order, this is a regular order, and I'm going to ring up an order right now and show you what on the fly looks like. As things come in, they are going to show up with a gray background and in green text. So if I hit wings and hit hot and then a sampler, medium, you'll see that there's a delay timing that we've set up in the system that allows these items to come out once we have rung them in. And you'll see they come on a gray background with a green banner and gray with the modifiers. Once that item is sent to the kitchen, you'll see that it changes to the normal window that we've shown before with the blue background. We've covered many different ways to configure your kitchen video system. Hopefully these will help you understand that you have better data access, better kitchen management, and hopefully a overall better cost of goods because you can manage your kitchen a little tighter. There are other ways to configure your kitchen video system, and we can cover those in depth later, or feel free to contact me directly with any questions or concerns.